It's a beautiful morning in the neighborhood. Okay, Nix, go to the bathroom. And off he goes, racing through the neighborhood, until he finds the perfect spot.
Welcome to Yoldai's Pet Corner.
You know you're intimidating when even the ocean says, "Yeah, I'll give you some space." That's the great white shark. For millions of years, this apex predator has ruled coastal waters across the globe. It's powerful. It's intelligent. It's misunderstood. Despite the fear it inspires, the real story is more fascinating than fiction. Today we'll explore origins, evolution, hunting, and what science really says about shark attacks. The great white shark Carcharodon carcharias hails from a shark lineage stretching back over 400 million years, a time long before dinosaurs walked the earth. These ancient survivors weathered multiple mass extinctions, adapting and evolving while countless other species vanished. The modern great white we know today likely emerged about 16 million years ago during the Miocene epoch. For decades, scientists debated its ancestry, with many proposing a direct descent from the colossal Megalodon. However, today's fossil evidence tells a different story. It points instead to a shared ancestor among ancient mackerel sharks, making them more like evolutionary cousins, two distinct branches of the same family tree, not parent and child. This resilience proves great whites aren't just dinosaur leftovers. They are a remarkably adaptable and successful line of predators. Evolution has sculpted the great white for unparalleled efficiency. Its body is a streamlined, torpedo-shaped marvel, built for bursts of speed with minimal drag. Its coloration is a masterclass in camouflage known as counter-shading. A dark gray back blends with the deep water when viewed from above, while a stark white belly disappears against the bright surface when seen from below. The shark's iconic teeth are triangular, serrated blades, perfectly designed for slicing through flesh, and they are endlessly replaceable. A great white can shed and regrow up to 20,000 teeth over its lifetime, ensuring its lethal bite is never compromised. But perhaps its most extraordinary tool is a hidden superpower, the amphioli of Lorenzini. These are networks of gel-filled pores concentrated around the snout, which function as highly sensitive electroreceptors. They can pick up the faint electrical fields generated by the muscle movements and nerve firings of other living creatures. A fish, hidden and unseen, twitches its fin, and the shark can feel its presence as clearly as if it were a beacon. This incredible sensitivity is so extreme it can detect the faint throb of a heartbeat buried beneath the sand or obscured by murky water. To a great white, the bioelectric signature of life itself paints an unmissable target, guiding it with unerring accuracy. Evolution honed a perfect hunter through these four pillars: an efficient form, stealthy colors, perpetually sharp blades, and a sixth sense for electricity. This combination of ancient resilience and sophisticated adaptation is precisely why the species continues to thrive as a ruler of the seas. The great white shark is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering, a creature of immense power and surprising grace. They can grow up to 20 feet long and weigh over 5,000 pounds, a colossal size that is almost entirely dedicated to propulsion. This is pure muscle, built for sudden, explosive acceleration. In short bursts, they can swim up to 35 miles per hour, a speed that allows them to close in on fast-moving prey in the blink of an eye. That size isn't bulky. It's hydrodynamic, sleek, dense, and ruthlessly efficient, designed to cut through water with minimal resistance. And yes, they breach. This iconic behavior, launching their entire body out of the ocean, is not for show. That dramatic leap out of the water is a hunting strategy, a calculated and devastating tactic. By striking seals from below at high speed, they use the element of surprise and sheer momentum to maximize impact and end the chase before it even begins. It's the marine equivalent of a sprinting ambush, a display of raw power that leaves little chance for escape. Imagine being a seal, enjoying your day, floating in the calm, sunlit water, and suddenly something the size of a pickup truck launches from the blue beneath you. Worst surprise ever. That moment lasts mere seconds, but in the unforgiving calculus of the open ocean, it decides everything. A great white's diet evolves as it grows. Juveniles, smaller and less powerful, primarily feed on fish and rays found near the seabed. But as they mature and gain size, their energy needs increase, prompting a significant dietary shift toward high-fat marine mammals like seals and sea lions. This change in menu is a key reason why adult great whites are so often found patrolling the waters near bustling seal colonies. They are opportunistic hunters, but not mindless killers. Every strike is a calculated risk that costs immense energy, and any injury can compromise their ability to hunt. Survival in the open ocean doesn't just reward strength, it demands ruthless efficiency. Evolution has shaped them to be discerning predators, carefully weighing the potential reward against the risk. Now let's talk about what people really want to know: the risk to humans. Globally, there are typically 7,100 unprovoked shark bites per year across all species combined. Great whites, with their coastal habitats and powerful presence, are responsible for a portion of those incidents. But it's crucial to put this in perspective. Fatal attacks are exceptionally rare, usually fewer than 10 worldwide per year. To be clear, you are statistically far more likely to be injured by a lightning strike than by a great white shark. The fear they inspire far outweighs the actual danger they pose. So why do bites happen at all? Most are believed to be test bites, cases of mistaken identity. From below, in murky coastal water, the silhouette of a surfer on a board can look remarkably similar to a seal. The shark, unable to clearly identify its target, may perform an exploratory bite before realizing its mistake and moving on. Great white sharks are found in temperate coastal waters worldwide. Higher encounter areas include coastal California, South Africa, southern Australia, and parts of the northeastern United States. These aren't shark-infested waters, they are seal-rich waters. Sharks go where food is abundant. Attacks are more likely near seal colonies, during dawn and dusk, in murky water, and where prey activity is high. But here's something fascinating. If great whites are apex predators, if they've survived for millions of years, if attacks are so rare, why are their populations declining? And what happens to the ocean ecosystem if this top predator disappears? In Part 2, we'll uncover the surprising truth about great white population numbers, their role in keeping marine ecosystems balanced, the biggest modern threats they face, and what science is discovering about their intelligence and behavior. The real story might change how you see them forever. Hey, let's go and see Rocky in the backyard.
Howdy, Yildai and Rocky here for Yildai's Pet Corner. Last week we got 14 subscribers, best week ever. 14 birds here. Rocky gets, I said that I would be bringing Rocky on. Here he is. Rocky, take your bone. There you go. Now, a couple of things about the channel is that right now we are in version 2.0. Been in it for about 2 weeks now. We are also starting this week going into version 2.5, and that's going to be bringing in a narration for the short forms. As soon as we get that all hammered out, then it'll be going and pushing through to the long form videos. Like I said, last week we got 14 subscribers. Got 14 bones minus the one that old Rocky over there is sitting there chewing on. Again, thank you very much, and out.
Hey folks, welcome back. The ocean doesn't run on power alone, it runs on balance. In Part 1, we traced the great white's deep lineage, a history stretching back over 400 million years. We explored its incredible engineering, the serrated teeth, the powerful tail, and the almost supernatural ability to sense the faintest electrical fields in the water using its electroreceptors. It's a masterclass in precision design, honed by millennia of evolution. We also covered the fundamentals, what it eats, where attacks are most likely to occur, and the crucial context behind shark encounter statistics, separating fact from fear. But that was just the blueprint. Today, we connect that raw power to its true purpose. We're going deeper to understand how this one keystone apex predator shapes entire coastlines, influencing everything from fish and seals to the very behavior of the creatures around them. The real story of the great white isn't just about the hunt. It's about the intricate dance of life and the delicate equilibrium it maintains. So let's follow the pattern and see what that balance really looks like. Despite their legendary reputation as invincible ocean rulers, great white sharks are far from untouchable. Throughout the 20th century, their numbers plummeted in many regions. They were relentlessly pursued in targeted trophy hunts, a symbol of conquest over nature. They became collateral damage, caught as bycatch in massive commercial fisheries. Many were accidentally entangled in protective nets meant for beaches, a tragic irony. And all the while, mounting habitat pressure near our ever-expanding coasts squeezed them into smaller and smaller territories. Today, many populations are listed as vulnerable or protected, with strict regulations finally in place. But conservation efforts began late, and the losses accumulated for decades. As apex predators, great whites reproduce with a strategy of quality over quantity. Females reach sexual maturity late, around 12 to 15 years of age. Gestation is long, litters are small, and the pups that are born face incredibly high early mortality rates. Unlike many fish that can spawn thousands of eggs, great whites invest enormous energy into relatively few young. This life history means their recovery isn't measured in seasons, but in human generations. This slow-paced life is a cornerstone of their ecological role. Great whites are keystone species, helping to regulate prey populations, especially the seals and sea lions that thrive along productive coasts. By keeping those numbers in a healthy balance, they create a cascade of positive effects. They indirectly protect crucial fish stocks from being overeaten, which in turn supports seabirds. Their presence even safeguards marine vegetation like seagrass and kelp that would otherwise be overgrazed by unchecked herbivore populations. So what happens if you remove this apex predator? The entire system can begin to unravel. Ecologists call this a trophic cascade. Without the sharks, their primary prey can explode in number. This forces mid-level predators to shift their behavior, and the entire food web ripples with complex and often unexpected consequences that can destabilize an entire coastal ecosystem. The presence of great whites shapes more than just survival, it fundamentally shapes behavior. Their influence is a constant, invisible pressure. Seals and sea lions become more vigilant, foraging differently and avoiding certain areas. Fish school in tighter, more defensive formations. Even feeding times for other species can shift to avoid encounters. In this way, even fear has profound ecological value. It creates what scientists call a landscape of risk that keeps the entire ecosystem alert, resilient, and ultimately in balance. For decades, we saw the great white as a mindless eating machine, but research over the last 20 years has completely reframed our understanding. These ancient predators are far more intelligent and socially complex than we ever believed. They demonstrate sophisticated investigative behavior, not just blind aggression. They can recognize patterns, solve problems, and even learn from experience. At feeding sites, their behavior hints at a subtle social order, with individuals waiting, circling, and yielding to one another in a clear, though not fully understood, hierarchy. Furthermore, tagging studies have unveiled an astonishing navigational ability. Great whites undertake immense migrations, covering thousands of miles with incredible precision. They show strong site fidelity, returning to the exact same productive regions season after season. These patterns repeat year after year, pointing to a remarkable internal compass and a detailed mental map of the ocean. They aren't just wandering, they are commuting. So, what we have is an ancient, powerful, and highly intelligent hunter with an advanced navigation system built in. And yet, we still panic when we see one fin. Meanwhile, they're probably just looking at us and wondering, why are you swimming in my food court? For all the fear surrounding sharks, the numbers tell a different story. Humans kill an estimated tens of millions of sharks per year across species through fishing, bycatch, and finning practices. Sharks kill fewer than 10 people annually worldwide. The imbalance is staggering. Where protections have been introduced, such as marine reserves and anti-fin laws, great white populations have shown signs of stabilization and even recovery. When apex predators return, ecosystems often rebound. Healthy oceans need predators, not to dominate, but to balance. Here's the real takeaway. Protection works when we give oceans room to breathe. Where marine reserves and anti-fin laws are enforced, great whites return, seal numbers settle, and fish stocks stabilize. Kelp forests regrow, seagrass beds rebound, and the entire coastline becomes more resilient. But recovery is fragile. These sharks mature slowly, have few pups, and every needless kill resets the clock. Coexistence isn't fearlessness, it's awareness. Respect closures, keep bait and fish scraps off swimming beaches, use shark-smart tech, and give wildlife space. Do that, and the monster becomes a gardener of the sea, quietly keeping balance while we enjoy it from a safe distance. That's the story the headlines miss and the reason conservation matters. Don't forget Safari Sunday, our Wild series. We explore incredible wildlife from across the planet. And remember, every short video equals a long-form deep dive. If you saw a short on great whites, this is where the full story lives. Hey, let's go check in on Rocky and his puppies.
On behalf of myself, my pups, and my dad, we thank you for watching.
Please remember to like
and subscribe. We get bones.